you stab anyone?
Give it all 07. We'll transfer the first. I'll find out.
What happened?
Well, that's the arrest of 51-year-old Raul Morales, accused of 2 separate stabbings on the Upper West Side in New York City, targeting an Asian male and a Jewish male, both expected to survive. But witnesses say the suspect yelled Allahu Akbar, of course means God is great, during both attacks. And the NYPD is investigating it as a potential hate crime as anti-Semitic attacks continue surging. Let's bring in Calvary Chapel Chino Hills senior and founding pastor Jack Hibbs. It's great to have you on the show. I wanted to do the same topic to start you off as we ended with Elizabeth Pipko. She was kind of giving us the political take on this, and I wanted you to give us kind of your perspective of what's happening. You know, we see this fomenting hate in from all sides, and especially in New York, when you see these anti-Semitic attacks rising, and it continues, and they continue to push this stuff.
Trace, there's a correlation globally. It's not just New York City, but there is a message that's being sent that there's a particular religion that throughout its history has been violent and has been one that has advanced against civilized culture. We're talking about the 7th century religion of Islam, Allahu Akbar, Arabic for God is greater. And when you see this declared, what often follows is murder, death. It's tragic, but it's true. And until we realize that, we're going to be in trouble. But listen, I'm a Christian. Jesus preached peace, love, and forgiveness and grace. We've got an opposite worldview that is now permeating the United States, and it's a completely belief system that is contrary to our Judeo-Christian worldview. Trace, it's a very alarming situation, but it is historic.
Yeah, and Masih Alinejad, who is an Iranian activist, kind of echoed that today. She was talking about Zohran Mamdani, the mayor of New York, saying that she believes that he is fairly hypocritical, and she said it this way.
I am against your hypocrisy, Mayor Mamdani, because you say that you care about children. That's my point. He said that he cares about the children of Gaza. So if anyone care about the lives of children in the Middle East, definitely they should be loud against the root cause of the war, the great sponsor of terrorism, which is the Islamic Republic as well. He kept quiet, absolutely quiet.
Yeah, and he says a lot. In fact, a lot of time he talks about, you know, the genocide. He calls Israel the genocide, right? And he never, ever, when he says that, mentions October 7th. He never mentions what happened on October 7th. He just goes one direction. And what she's saying is he sees things from one purview, from one angle.
Yeah, absolutely. You never hear from any Jewish rabbi, any Jewish leader saying, we need to hunt down Muslims around the world and eradicate them. And yet that's what you hear from the Islamic community. Why? Because it's part of their doctrine. People are not going to like to hear that, but it is a fact. And so I agree with her 100%. People should watch that entire interview because what she's saying is true, and she knows she's from that part of the world. And what she's speaking is truth. That is a woman who has spoken the truth and has received so many numerous death threats, yet God bless her, she's bold and she's standing strong. Americans need to get bold and stand strong.
When they say from the river to the sea, if people don't know, what they're talking about is eradicating an entire sect of people. And it really is, you don't hear that on the other side. Very quickly, Zohran Mamdani told the New York Times that he was meeting with his legal team when he did this interview for the Times. He was meeting with his legal team to figure out if New York really could put Benjamin Netanyahu in prison. And the New York Times now says what the mayor neglected to say in a wide-ranging interview with the New York Times last week was that he had already been advised by lawyers that he had no authority to do so, to put Netanyahu in prison. So he apparently just kind of fudged the truth to keep up the genocide accusations. Your final thoughts on this?
Showing his colors. This is exactly how he thinks. The New Yorker and their voter ought to be taking this to heart because this is how he thinks, and more of this is going to happen unless the voters in New York City wise up and quick.
Yeah. Pastor, great to have you on, as always. Thank you.
Be sure to like and subscribe for all the Fox News latest on YouTube and catch full shows streaming now on Fox One.